All right, we now move into a different section, and this is really cool stuff. We're going to teach you some power language. We're going to show you how to be extremely influential in your dealings with other people. People who have personal power are very, very good at getting their point across. And with just a few simple techniques, your communication will be far more effective. You'll be more influential, more persuasive. And the very first one I want to teach you is called, not surprisingly, double binds, or the double bind. What is a double bind? It is a very, very interesting phenomenon, but human beings are unique in that if we are offered only two possibilities, would you rather have A or B? Would you rather have X or Y? Guess what happens? We stop looking for other potentials. We stop looking to see if there's a third choice or a fourth or a fifth. And this is so bizarre, people don't even know they're doing it. So if you say to someone, would you rather have this or this? They will look at those two and typically make a decision. They won't say, okay, would you rather have the coffee or the tea? Well, I actually want a beer. No, it's the two that you present is the two things that they will tend to look at and the two that they will then make a choice based upon. So how can you use this to be influential and powerful in your communications with others? Well, let's say you want to change someone's behavior. You want them to make a certain choice. The way around their resistance is to use a double bind. And a double bind, in this case, means that you're going to determine in advance two possible choices, but you are going to be the one who crafts what these choices are. You'll determine up front, it will be this or this. Then when you present those choices, you will ensure that either one will get you exactly what you want. You're not going to offer them a choice that you don't want them to take. You're going to offer them two choices that either one of which will be perfect for you and let them decide which one of the two they pick. For example, a number of years ago, I was dealing with a situation in my family. My wife comes from a family where there are kidney stones. Her father had kidney stones, had the surgery back in the days. They open you right up with a knife, enough room to throw a football around in there. Well, now, instead, they use shock waves and break them up and you pass them, which I'm sure is still not a pleasant thing. Nobody wants kidney stones. And kidney stones are, at least according to some authorities, traced to insufficient water in your diet, your daily intake of fluids. And so I would always attempt and fail to get my wife to drink more water. I explained the science. I explained how important it was, all of these things, but she just never felt thirsty enough to drink extra water. I didn't want her to get kidney stones. I was banging my head on a wall, attempting to get her to listen to me about this. So, ding, I thought, I'm going to use a double bind, which is what I did. She was sitting reading the newspaper one Saturday morning, and so her mind was distracted from what I was doing, which is another aspect to this, but not really necessary. And I said, hey, honey, would you rather have a hot drink now or a cold drink later? She looked confused, looked up from the paper and said, what did you say? I said, I just asked you, would you rather have a hot drink now or a cold drink later? Now notice, I'm only offering the two alternatives. She's not going beyond and saying, well, I don't want to drink of anything. Or maybe, maybe I want something to eat. No, instead, she looks at these two choices and says, I guess I'll have a hot drink now. I said, that's right, offering back the correctness of her choice. I brought her a big mug of herbal tea with 2 tea bags in, so this was a lot of water in it. She drank it, and as she's drinking it, I said, I'll bring you that cold drink later. She said, okay. Later on, I gave her a bottle of water. She drank that too and said, what did you just do? Well, she's been married to me for a very long time. She sees through a lot of these things now. Other people, when you're working with them, they will not be that lucky. And when you offer someone a double bind, ensure that the choices you're offering are sufficient to get you exactly what you want. Clever salespeople do this all the time. Intuitively, they might say, do you want to sign the contract now, or should we have lunch first? You say, well, I haven't got time for lunch. I guess we should sign it now. Well, what about the third option? Check at home and see if my wife wants me to sign it. Determine whether it's a good deal in the first place. Not sign it at all. No, you will look at the two, sign it now or have lunch first and say, well, I guess I'll sign it now. Or, well, let's have lunch and then I'll sign it. Use double binds. Make no mistake, they are a very, very powerful piece of power language that will get you much more of what you want out of life.